Hello there. What is going on, everyone? Today I'm bringing you the What to Buy First video for the Separatists in Star Wars Legion: The Clone Wars. So if you are a new player coming into Star Wars Legion, looking to buy some droids, looking to buy Separatists, Grievous, the Sith, all of this stuff, this is the place for you. Now, this video is going to be a preliminary video because I am making this technically before all of this stuff comes out. So a lot of the things that I'll be recommending are not actually out yet. So the caveat here is that some of this information is going to be updated, and I will make more videos as new expansions come out, new expansions get announced, and as more things get fully revealed, because a lot of this is based on just the information that we have right now. I do have a copy of the Clone Wars core set, as well as some of the droid expansions that I got early at Gen Con, so I have a little bit of first-hand knowledge of this, but there's a lot of other expansions here that aren't even fully previewed yet. So I'm bringing to you my list for if you're on a budget, what to get first based on what we know now. And we'll be updating this next year when we have more information and more units. And I typically update this series of videos every year. I do one for every faction. And if you are new to Star Wars Legion, this is a great place to get started. I also have videos teaching how to play, as well as what to buy first for the other factions. So make sure you watch to the end of the video and check out over on the other side. There'll be some links to some other videos I think you might enjoy. There's also a contest running right now for the $25 Amazon gift card. I'm going to announce the winner of that in a day or two, so stay tuned for that. And that is going to be, all you have to do is be a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my other videos, but let me know what your favorite Separatist unit is, even if it's not in the game yet. All right, so with that being said, you're new to Star Wars Legion, you want to know what to get. I'm talking about units and expansions and what you should be buying first. Obviously, this is a miniatures game. You're going to need paints, you're going to need glue, you're going to have to assemble your miniatures and all of that. But if you're trying to figure out where you should get started as far as buying the actual expansions and the game product, well, the first thing you need to get is a core set. The core set comes with both Republic and Separatist. Now, this is a Clone Wars core set. There is an original core set that has Darth Vader on the front, and that one is the Empire and the Rebels. Don't get that one. That one is not going to have any Clone Wars units. So hopefully you're looking at the box you're buying and making sure it actually has the units that you're looking for on the box. That's a little takeaway here is there's usually a picture on the cover or on the sides of what type of stuff comes in the box. So don't get the wrong core set. Get the Clone Wars core set. Now, the good thing about a core set is it comes with a whole bunch of stuff. And it has things you need. It has some rules, although the rules references online. But it also is going to have General Grievous. It's also going to have 2 B-1 battle droids, and it's going to have a unit of droidicas. And the droidicas are cool too because they also have the wheeled mode in addition to the stand-up mode, so you're getting lots of miniature goodness, and they're just super cool. Great value. Now these will come on sprues, so make sure you have some sprue cutters or and some good assembly tools. And some of them can be a little tricky if you're brand new to miniatures games. So there's going to be a lot of tutorials on that. I have done some building videos of the B-1 and droidicas, but there's a lot of those out there, so make sure you just ask for help and let me know in the comments below if you got a question. I will try to get to it as well. Or if you see somebody else asking a question and you know the answer, help out. This is a great community, and there are a lot of other resources out there for new players, such as the Star Wars Legion Facebook group, the Legion Discord, as well as many others. So make sure you just reach out. There's a great community. So once you've got a core set, in addition to having all of the other stuff, what should you go for next? Well, I would say another core set. Absolutely, 10 times out of 10. Most Fantasy Flight games, you need to get more than one core set for a number of reasons. One of the reasons, and this is just a little bonus here, is the dice. You're going to need so many more dice than what come in the core set. Granted, you can get a dice pack. You can totally get a dice pack. A dice pack is cheap, but everything that comes in this core set just makes the value so tremendous. It's a $100 core set, but you're getting about $200 worth of stuff in here. Plus, on top of that, you can trade your Republic stuff to another Republic player and get all of their Separatist stuff. Now, a standard game is 800 points. The Separatists are a slightly more expensive faction to play, primarily because their units, their droids that come in the core set are cheap. They're real cheap. You can field a lot of them for a cheaper cost, and that's kind of cool from a certain point of view. But as far as if you're on a really tight budget, you may want to play clones instead of droids, because clones are a little more expensive, they're more substantial, they have better training, and thus you have to buy less of them, so less physical product to get yourself up to an 800 point list. So 2 core sets actually won't even get you up to 800 points for Separatists. So depending on when you're starting this game, if you're starting right when this launches, I'm actually going to suggest you get 3 core sets. Now, you can trade your Republic stuff to other people and get stuff out of that. If you have a friend who's interested in starting too, maybe you guys can kind of go in halvesies or something like that. But 3 core sets is going to get you 6, which is the maximum number of B1 battle droids. It's also going to get you 3, which is the maximum unit of droidicas. Now, they do sell expansions for B1 battle droids and droidicas separately, but the value is so much better to get the 3rd core set here. And that will be able to fill you up to 800 points and give you some list diversity. And you get some extra copies of General Grievous as well. And considering that he can be built so many different ways, it's kind of fun. It's cool to try to build him with 4 lightsabers, or just the 1 and a pistol and a cape, or without the cape. You can do all kinds of cool stuff with an extra Grievous. So definitely a great value there. If you're getting into the game later on, when everything is out, like maybe December or January or early 2020 or sometime after that, you might not need to go for that 3rd core set. So this guide is going to be slightly dependent on when you're starting, because some of the things that I will recommend in place of that 3rd core set are not actually launching at the same time as the core set. So I'm releasing this video in October of 2019. If you are starting, if you're looking to start right when this launches, get 3 core sets is my recommendation. If you're starting much later than that, then keep watching and there'll be some other things. So that's my caveat. So for future proofing, I'm going to say probably two core sets will probably be good, because then the next thing I'm going to suggest is Count Dooku. Dooku is the next commander that's coming out, and he is a beast. Now, one of the advantages of having Count Dooku, for one, is it gives you an alternative commander option, or considering you can run 2 commanders, that makes up for the cheap aspect of the droids. Now, Dooku is not launching at the same time as the core set. He's going to come out after the fact. He's going to come out later. I'm not sure his exact release date right now, but it's looking like it'll probably be January of 2020. So depending on when you're watching this video, if Dooku is available, then I would suggest him as opposed to maybe that 3rd core set, because there's going to be other things now that can fill out your list. And he can chew up 200 points of your list, more than 200 points depending on which upgrades you put on him. And that's great. So you can run him and General Grievous and have a really, really nice evil lightsaber wielding list, supported by maybe 4 units of B1 battle droids and maybe even some droidicas. So yeah, definitely going to say Dooku as the second purchase, or maybe 3rd technically if your 2nd core set was your 2nd purchase. And the other thing that makes Dooku such a great buy is that he's only $13 or $12.95 MSRP. So it's really, really cheap, and you're being able to fill up so much, and he's a formidable character on the battlefield. What we've seen of his, now I don't believe they've fully spoiled all of his command cards, so there's still more that we have to learn about Dooku at the time of recording this video, but he looks like he's going to be absolutely terrifying on the battlefield. So he'll also be very fun to use as well. So, and Dooku was it was Christopher Lee, for crying out loud. He's also got a lot of cool points, and that's something that does kind of go into my rankings. I think the cool points definitely goes into my rankings. All right, the next purchase is going to be the upgrade card pack. Now, this does launch at the same time as the Clone Wars core set. Upgrade card pack is just going to be good all around for enhancing your army, giving you access to upgrades that aren't in the Clone Wars core set, giving you access to upgrades that you might have had to go back otherwise and pick up the Galactic Civil War expansions, maybe some Empire and some Rebel expansions, or the original core set, to gain access to certain cards. Now they're available here in this upgrade card pack. And this is one pack for all factions. It's going to have some duplicate cards that you get in the Clone Wars, because this is also for Imperial and Rebel players too, to have access to some of the stuff that only comes out now with the Clone Wars. So there's going to be a lot of different cards in here, but it's only $10. It gives you access to so many things, and what I like about this is it's augmenting units that you already have. Now you can take, oh, I have a new command option to put on my commander. Oh, I have a different grenade option to put on my, maybe, oh, I'm going up against armor. Now I can have impact grenades and all of this other stuff. So you have a lot of really cool new options. And I really like that about this particular pack. And the price point really makes it, I mean, you're on a budget after all, so we got to try to go with, things that are a little more efficient when, and what gives us the most bang for our buck. Speaking of most bang for our buck, I'm going to recommend the B1 Battle Droids upgrade expansion as the next purchase. Now, again, this is one that is not launching at the same time as the core set. So if you're watching this in the future, and if this is out already, what this is this is a pack that is going to upgrade your existing B1 Battle Droids, and it's a very good value. Again, best bang for our buck. You've already got at least 4 B1 Battle Droid units, right? Let's give you new things that you can put on those B1 Battle Droids. Additionally, this comes with an extra B1 Battle Droid unit, so you can, or at least the unit card, so you can take some of your extra minis and then put those together to create an extra B1 Battle Droid unit. In this case, though, I think the better value is the fact that you're getting new options to add to your B1 Battle Droids and just kind of opening up some new builds and some new build ideas. Now, this one has, as of recording this video, has not been fully spoiled yet, but what we do know is that it's going to have some heavy options as well as some extra personnel options, and from what we have seen, it actually looks really cool. So I'm digging what I've seen of the B1 Battle Droid upgrade expansion, and I'm sure in the future it will still be pretty high on my priority list because I always give bonus points to something that's giving you new ways to use the stuff you already have, because that is generally pretty good for people on a budget. All right, so next up, we're getting into some of the things that are a little more expensive, maybe a little less crucial, but still kind of cool. So the B2 Super Battle Droids, these are the next core that have been announced, and of course they're very, very iconic. These are not launching at the same time. These are going to be coming after the fact, so if these are out already when you're watching this video, then maybe you want to pick up a set. I really like these. I really do. Now they're core already. You may not need any more core. So if your army is already fulfilled, this is why they're kind of lower on the list. They're super cool. They're really super cool. They have armor. I mean, they're core and they have armor 1. Like, they just seem like such a really, really potentially strong unit, and they're very, very different. They seem like they're going to play and be fielded and built. And everything about them is going to be very, very different from the B1 Battle Droids. So I really like the way these guys look and the way their unit card looks. And their points cost is drastically different too. So there's going to be a whole lot of difference between this and the B1s that you already have. So I put these guys, they're lower in the list because they're core, but they're a little higher than I might have put them otherwise because they're so very different than the core that you already have. And I think there's a lot of bonus points for that. I mean, they're also very iconic, and the unit card, I love that they have armor. I just think that's so cool. So hopefully they'll be more survivable. And then up, it got a lower spot on the list, but the AAT Trade Federation Battle Tank, it's classic, it's iconic. Obviously, like, this is something that I think a lot of people wanted when they found out that Clone Wars was coming. You think of that in Battle of Naboo. I think of this makes me want to see a Gungan army. It just looks really, really cool. As of recording this video, this has not even been fully spoiled yet, so we don't even know all the upgrades and everything that comes in this pack. But it is $60, and so that, it's pretty much the most expensive unit for the Separatists right now, and so that's kind of why it's lower on the list, because just considering that the focus of this is, hey, what should you get first when you're on a budget? Now, granted, if you love this, if you want this and droids, if you want 2 of these, then go for it, man. Get them maybe before something else. A lot of this is just my opinion, and if this is something that's going to bring you joy by getting this maybe before something else that I suggested, then go for it. I'm only giving you my opinion based on the finances, but if it brings you a lot more joy, then I would elevate it higher in your priorities. And I think this is one that could potentially do that. It's just that in the past, heavy vehicles have not always performed that well in Star Wars Legion. Now, this may change in the future. Next year, when I update this video, this one may be significantly higher based on a number of factors. We know that they're looking at releasing new battle cards. The objectives may change to favor heavy vehicles. Maybe when this gets, when this comes out and ends up getting more playtime, and maybe people will say, hey, this is really strong. This one may rise several spots on my list over time. But as of right now, just going off of trends, what we've seen before, and the price point, I had to put it a little bit lower on the list. I'm sorry if you love it. I love it too. I'm definitely going to get one. I may get 2. I don't know if I'll get 2 because I don't know if I can fit 2 on the map. I'll start with 1. We'll start with 1. That's good. That's pretty sound advice. Always start with 1. You don't want to start with 5 and then realize you don't like the first one. Now you got 4 more. What are you going to do with those? Plus, you can only run 2 heavies in a standard Legion game. So, all right. Next up, I'm going to say the priority supplies Battlefield expansion is something you might want to consider. There are numerous Battlefield expansions that are basically terrain pieces. There's a couple of them, and most of them don't really give the Separatists any kind of competitive advantage, or they're just terrain for the most part. Sometimes they have a little scenario that you can play with them, and that's cool, but it's not really something you need, unless of course you really enjoy scenarios. But I'm not really talking about that. The reason I include this one, in addition to the fact that it's got these little terrain pieces, is that this one also comes with new battle cards, and it's good if you're a new player coming into the game. It's good to have at least one, well, all you need is one set of these priority supplies, because you're going to have new battle cards that are going to upgrade your basically your hand of battle cards. So when you're going to choose your 4 that you want to bring of each type, you can incorporate these into those, and this will add to your strategies. It's got the sabotage moisture evaporators, the minefield, and then advanced positions. It's just it's pretty cool. So it's nice having those options. So you don't really need the terrain pieces as much, but they're kind of nice, and I kind of like this one for that. At the bottom of my list is going to be B1 Battle Droids, the actual individual unit expansion, as well as the Droidica's individual unit expansion. There's really not much that you need to get out of these, and all of the upgrades that come in these you can get in other places. Like they come in other upgrades, they come in other units, they come in like the upgrade card pack is going to have some of this stuff. So you really don't need these expansions unless you just really want extras. The problem is that you're getting these in the core set already, and the value of the core set is really, really high compared to what you're getting. So, like, doing the math really quick, you're basically getting this stuff for like half price when you get them in a core set. Plus, you're also getting dice and all these other things, and potential Republic stuff that maybe you're going to keep. Maybe you're going to play multiple factions, or maybe you're going to trade somebody your Republic stuff for their Separatist stuff. And then if you do that, the value gets even higher. So I just really don't recommend getting Droidicas or B1 Battle Droids individually. The sculpts aren't even different. The sculpts are the same as what comes in the core set. There's just really not much of an advantage outside of, like, I think an upgrade card in each one that wasn't in the core set, but it's not really crucial because you can get them in other places. So yeah, that is basically the list there. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. I will be updating this from year to year, so hopefully you guys have enjoyed this, and it's just my opinion. If there's something that you really like, if you want to get more than 6 B1 battle droids and you want to get a 7th one someday, maybe a unit comes out someday that has entourage B1 battle droids, at that point maybe it would be better to get the extra B1 battle droids. Or if you just want to go nuts and buy a whole bunch of B1 battle droids and then smash them up after you build them and use their legs and broken bodies as base options for your clone troopers or something like that, then by all means go for it. I think that'll be a fun thing to do with your droids if you do have extras. Alright guys, well that's all I've got for you today. I want to thank you all so much for watching. I also want to thank my patrons on Patreon. You guys are amazing and definitely help make this possible. So thank you so much. And as always, have a great day.